Yo, we are back and I shaved for you guys. Look at this. Babyface Bash in the building. Look at that baby face. That's not the point of the video though. Shall we get into it? Let's go. So my personal journey with rapping, it started around the age of 16 and 17. I started in high school, started out like most hobbies. And the reason I did it is just because it was fun. Simply put, freestyling at lunch, during school, freestyling with your friends while you hotbox the car, freestyling at parties and kickbacks. Just saying nonsense, just trying to put words and sentences together while keeping the flow going. Absolutely no pressure and just pure fun. But then like any other hobby you start for fun, you want to take it to the next level and challenge yourself. So that's exactly what I did. I went on to YouTube and I found some random beat I was vibing with. Next step, put the pen to the pad and see if I could actually write a whole song. For the record, I sucked when I started. Like, I wish I had some of my first recordings that I could reference and show you guys, if it's not too cringe, because honestly, it probably was. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. Being young and being in high school, for me, not being good was the driving force at the time. Wanting to prove myself and others who are willing to listen that I could set my mind to it and just level the fuck up. So by this time, I'm sure I've written a couple trash songs that no one wanted to hear. So what would the next step be? You guessed it, recording myself. So I saved up around $100 at the time to invest in my first ever microphone. I ended up purchasing a Blue Yeti USB microphone. Now with my newly purchased microphone in hand and desktop at home, I needed some software where I could record my voice. Ah, yes, the days of Audacity. Audacity is just a bare bones audio recording software where you could, well, simply just record audio. I believe this was days before DAWs even existed, and if they did exist, they were foreign to me at the time. Couldn't even mix the recorded audio, it was just raw as it could get. But with all the tools at my disposal and a burning passion of a high school kid, I started to record myself. And pretty much the rest was history. Alright, that's the video guys, thanks for coming along and listening. Nah, just kidding. Alright. Over the years throughout high school, I would continue to work on my craft, continuing to get better as the time went on. Sell my current microphone and use the money to invest in a better microphone setup. My second microphone was a microphone by the same company, Blue, priced around $500 or so. I don't exactly remember the name of this mic. It looked really funky and weird. If I can find a picture, I'll definitely throw it up on screen. Wanting to take things in the quality to the next level, this microphone was not a USB mic, so I had to do research on how to take my setup to the next level. This involved buying an audio interface so I could run my microphone to my desktop for the recordings along with some other equipment, which was another couple of $100s at the time. Over the years, I would continue to record myself, progressing at my craft, uploading my songs for free to SoundCloud where no one would really listen. Finally, I would sell this microphone and make a big investment at the time, buying a $1,000 mic, a Neumann TLM 102. It was a big boy. Up to this point, I would always record myself, teaching myself just basic mixing skills as the time went on. Now here I am, fresh out of high school, still following my passion of being a rapper. Around the same time when I was 19, I made a really big decision to move back to where I was born, but that's for a different video. Living on my own for the first time in the land of the north with all my recording equipment, being broke as fuck, I would continue to record myself and make music in my one-bedroom apartment. It was the first time I also ever lived on my own. Over time, I would eventually feel discouraged mixing my own vocals, feeling as if it was lacking the quality I needed and realizing I wasn't as passionate about mixing as I was about actually writing and rapping. I've only been uploading to SoundCloud at this point, so I signed myself up for DistroKid as a way to get my music on all streaming platforms to make my music more accessible and to be more professional. I wanted to separate myself from the SoundCloud rappers. Plus, it just sounds a whole lot better and more accessible if you got your music on iTunes, Spotify, rather than just on one streaming website. Now we fast forward to now, the present day, where unless you do everything yourself completely DIY, you're gonna have to spend money to continue to release music. Cover art, studio time, mixing and mastering, music videos, promotions and advertisement. On top of being a broke young adult in their 20s just trying to make ends meet. So this brings me to my current mood and dilemma towards being a rapper. Everything costs so much money. Did I mention I'm just a broke 20-something-year-old just trying to keep a head afloat, buying groceries, paying bills, all that fun adult stuff. Now, this isn't the case for everyone. Some people have a team behind them or a network of people or close friends who are willing to work together, pushing the dream together. That's the ideal situation for a young adult trying to make music, but not everyone is as fortunate, myself included. Don't get me wrong, I've made tons of friends and other creatives who are into music along the way, but there's a difference compared to that and having an actual team behind you. Everyone was still charging money for their services, whether they are my friends or not. And let me just clarify this right now. I'm not some cheapskate who's expecting hands out from other people. No, that's not the case at all. I'm always willing to pay others for their hard work and services, just like anything else in life. I understand that you trade the currency for their time and effort into what they bring to the project. But it does get to a point where I just had to ask myself recently, is it worth it? Is it worth paying hundreds of dollars per song release while also juggling your basic life expenses as a 25-year-old just to have a handful of people listen to a song? Like, let's break down the cost really quick. We'll say studio time is $100. Mixing and mastering, we'll say another $150. Say you get a good deal at a studio with the engineer. We'll say they cut you a deal for $200 to record, mix, and master, everything included. Keep in mind, this is on the cheap side. I am lowballing. Can't forget the beat. You need a beat to rap on. The beat's gonna run you another $100 to $200. Cool, now you have $300 for a complete song. Now you need cover art. We'll say that's another $50 to $100. We'll say $350 for all that. So $350 for one complete song isn't too bad, but you're gonna need to put some type of promotion behind it if you want people to listen. Because what's the point of having a #1 hit single if no one even knows it exists? So promo advertising is another $75. What was that? 200 and 100, cover art, do 75 for the promo, add it up. So we're sitting at a $425 for one single song, not including a music video, which can run you anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on the quality and skill level of the videographer. For the sake of this video, we'll say no music video, just a single release. You're looking at $425 per song. That's lowballing, and that's not guaranteed any type of listeners on that. From my experience, we'll say a couple hundred people listen the first month before the listening count eventually drops off. You're roughly spending around $500 for 300 or so people to listen to a song. But that's the thing, you want to stay relevant and stay on top of it, right? So you're going to be releasing one song every 2 weeks to a month to stay relevant. I don't know about you, but $500 a month can be a lot for a young adult just trying to make ends meet. Side note, I have two other main hobbies: dancing and, obviously, if you're watching this, YouTube. And the beautiful thing I love about these hobbies is dancing, it doesn't require anything. Literally, as long as I have a healthy functioning body, that's all it takes. And good music. It's absolutely free. I don't have to spend a dime to do that hobby, to do what I love. YouTube, it's the same. All is required is a smartphone. I edit these videos and record these videos on my smartphone, and everyone in 2022 has a smartphone in their pocket. There's not much money required at all for that, compared to making music where it just feels like I have to spend money to get to the end product. Let's take a look back as to where the journey began and how I felt then versus now. Like most hobbies and passions, it all started with fun. What started as a freestyling with friends at lunch to wanting to challenge myself and set my mind to something as a teenager. I would come up with clever bars and impress myself with clever lyricism, wanting to be like my favorite rappers who I looked up to. To the point where it has taken me now, where I can't even make a song without dropping hundreds of dollars on a single release, it feels. Where I'm not even guaranteed audience or listeners. You know, maybe just being a rapper is just the shit end of the stick. It seems as if every other aspect of making music you can actually profit and charge money for their services. But the rapper is stuck paying for all of this out of pocket, even though he is just as important as every other aspect of making the song. Like, you can't really have a rap song without, well, the rapper. Don't get me wrong, you can meet people who generally want to create music together without money involved. But if you don't have anyone like that around, you're stuck paying out of pocket. For something I generally did out of a passion and love for the craft, with no money being involved, it has completely changed the way I've been feeling about it as of recently. And I'm not saying I'm giving up or quitting. I will always be an artist till the day I die, and that is a promise. I'm just not sure if it's currently worth it. And what was once so fun and carefree has turned into an expensive chore that every 16 to 18-year-old kid with autotune and a gold-plated chain with internet connection is a part of now. And maybe I'm just complaining because I don't have the money I would like to pour into it, obviously. I mean, I could always focus on getting my bag and just drop music in the future once I get my bands up, right? Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you related one way or another. And I'm sure there's other people out there that feel the same way I do. And that's why I do this, to relate and just to connect to one another. Oh yeah. And I mean, I do have music out. If you're interested, I go by Attack on Bash on everything. So if you're actually interested in listening to my music, just go to your streaming services, whatever it is, iTunes, Spotify, just type in Attack on Bash. Give her a listen. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.